In 1848, James Marshall, a former carpenter, was sent to build a sawmill on the American River. He was looking into the river when he saw something down in it. He bent down to grab it when he pulled out a piece of gold. He said, "It made my heart thump, for I felt certain it was gold." After the news got out of his discovery, people from all over America came to the American River. That was the start of the California Gold Rush. On the Sierra Nevada mountains, miners found even more gold. They thought there was enough gold to pay the cost of the present war with Mexico 100 times over. Of course, nobody believed them, so they sent a box of dust gold to show how much there really was. Though the gold rush was a big deal, the living conditions weren't always great. They had to stand in knee-deep, freezing streams, which got them very sick. They suffered from being so tired they often had to leave the mine or die. They also got little to no food, which damaged their health very much. It was very hard for them to mine gold, but they still also had to pay a big amount of money just for little supplies. Sometimes gamblers would come into the camps and would take all their money because they knew they were gullible. Because of that, almost no miners became rich. Even though there was a lot of miners from around the world, 2/3 of the 49ers were American, but not exactly from California. People traveled all over just to have a shot at becoming rich from the gold rush. Native Americans, enslaved African Americans, freed blacks, experienced miners from Sonora, Mexico, miners from Europe, South America, Australia, and China also came to work in the mines. Most Chinese were peasant farmers who secretly left because of crop failures. The Chinese were used to hard work that severely hurt their backs. They were very patient people, so they took their time and got more gold. Americans were upset. The more the Chinese grew, the more the Americans got upset. Soon they figured out that gold is lying in the cracks of the earth, in the crust and streams. Soon, Mexican miners introduced the pan to mining. They would fill the pan with dirt from the streams and then slosh water into them, then swirl the pan until they could only see gold or no gold. Anger made some of the miners play tricks on each other. A man named L.B. Gilman told an enslaved African American that he would free him if he worked up to $1,000. When he finally had enough money, he gave him the paper that said he was free, but the next day he disappeared. He couldn't prove that he stole the paper, so he had to keep working until he could finally save up to get enough money to free himself again. Finally, easy gold was found again, and American miners began to force Native Americans and foreigners out of the gold fields to make more money. One of the things that the California state did was pass the foreign miners tax, which made foreign miners pay $20 a day to work. After they couldn't pay anymore, the Chinese workers started opening shops, restaurants, and laundries. They soon started a neighborhood called Chinatown. By 1852, the gold rush was over. But when it started, over 250,000 people came into California. The port city of San Francisco became a very popular place and has only grown. To this day, California is still a very popular place thanks to the California Gold Rush.